write me down, I ain't going out. As the culture turns, you gotta figure it out. They see you getting it poppin', they gon' try and come around. I be down to go out like and keep it live round. In the blick, get you hit. Bitch, we gon' get you first. Don't get caught up in the mix. Better watch out for that blitz. Can't deny that I'm lit. You can't deny that I'm lit.
Can't deny that I'm lit. Gotta ride with your blick. Fuck watching for the option. Be the cop to get you hit. I just right up off the porch. Mama said stay up out the mix. Niggas up when I was broke. They left me down on my dick.
All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Jameer with the Journalism, presented to you by As the Culture Turns. Now, before we get into everything, make sure you subscribe to that YouTube channel so you can stay tuned for more content just like this. All right, y'all. So on today's episode, we will be discussing the Karmelo Anthony and the Metcalf boy case. All right. So first, before I give y'all an update on this story, I just want to talk about how streamer Aiden Ross has negatively spoken out about this Karmelo Anthony case, as if he doesn't have more things to be mad about that's going on in his world. So let me play this clip, and then we will discuss, and I'll break everything else down.
Talk about politics anymore, shit like that, but that shit really pissed me off what's going on in the world right now, bro, with you know who, bro. Track me shit. Bro, I try to bite my tongue nowadays, bro, but like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. How do I not, bro? I have a platform for a reason, bro. I can say whatever the fuck I want. The fuck you mean who? He killed someone, he's out. Like, how the fuck does that work? Like, bro, he's literally like, what? like, what? What do you mean stop? I'm dead serious. He's literally, he stabbed him and he's out. Like, bro, what? Like, what? No, I'm dead, bro. I'm dead, bro. I'm not joking, bro. It doesn't make any sense at all. Y'all saying shut the fuck up? I'm dead serious. I don't give a fuck if people mad at me, bro. I say what I want, bro. That's what streaming's about. If they gonna ban me for opinion, they gotta ban all the other political streamers on Twitch too. Come on, let's be real here. I'm not disrespecting anybody. I'm just being real. Self-defense.
All right, so my whole thing with that is, as I just stated, this is what's upsetting you, Aiden Ross. This is someone who is a streamer who benefits off of the black audience. So my thing is, do you have the same energy when the whole Luigi thing came out about him killing the Healthcare United CEO? Like, were you that upset? How about when what happened to Trayvon Martin or Ahmaud Arbery or George Floyd or Breonna Taylor? I say all that to say that this is that selective outrage that I don't like, especially by these white bloggers or streamers, you know. But I got a few comments on social media that I will point out and then we will discuss. All right, so the first thing that I got, it says, every white social media person that thrives off a black following, we taking notes. Listen, we as a culture got to start taking notes because it's people like him who benefit off of our culture, but then it's outrage about things like this by a little black boy who was self-defending himself against a white bully. And that's what we're going to say. He was a white bully. So this got you so upset, then listen, I am actively working. If I see going forward, if I see any black artists on this guy's platform, I'm personally boycotting them, because if y'all can sit here and be complicit with someone like this who supports Trump, who again is mad at a little black boy, and the thing that gets me is they still haven't gone to trial yet or gone to court yet, so he has the right to be trialed. You get what I'm saying? So that's my whole thing on that. Next, I got, it says, want to be around black culture, but don't stand up for black causes and still be prejudiced. That's my whole thing. Like, he want to benefit off our culture, but he over here outraged about something that he don't even know the full facts about. That's his whiteness coming out. Next, it says, Gypsy Rose out, Kyle Rittenhouse out, George Zimmerman out. The fellow who killed Emmett Till lived their entire lives as free men. Shall I go on? Killing someone is never okay. However, I'm glad y'all can see how we've been feeling for decades. Stay mad. And I feel like that. Stay mad, Aiden Ross, because at the end of the day, you got so much more to be mad about. We got terrorists going on out here. What about the man who was wrongly deported to El Salvador by the president that you support, you have selective outrage. And that's the thing. And it's the privilege that you can have because this Carmelo Anthony case is got you so outraged, but nothing else does. Keep that same energy across the board. And the final comment I want to put up on the screen in regards to Aiden Ross, it says, I noticed that these white people are very silent on the shooting at Florida State University. The shooter was a MAGA person, string supporter of Trump, and they are silent. They want to beat us, but yet they hate us. Crazy. Exactly. Aiden Ross ain't nothing but a bitch, in my opinion. All right, so for those of you who may not know much about the, case between these two, Carmelo Anthony, he is a 17-year-old high school student from Texas who was arrested on April 2nd and charged with first-degree murder following the fatal stabbing of fellow student Austin Metcalf during a track meet in Frisco, Texas. Carmelo Anthony claimed he acted in self-defense after Metcalf allegedly grabbed him during an argument. On April 14th, a Collin County judge reduced his bond from $1 million to $250,000, leading to his release under house arrest with an ankle monitor. He is permitted to leave home only with judicial permission for legal appointments. The case has garnered significant public attention with fundraisers established by both families. Now, Kayla Hayes, the mother of Carmelo Anthony, the teen, charge or whatever, is speaking out against online rumors that her family used donated funds to rent a new house. That's the thing. Before I get into her video, that's the thing. So when the judge reduced the bond from $1 million to $250,000, then the judge started to receive death threats from, racist white people. Let's just call it what it is. She started to receive death threats. And to me, it's like, okay, she's getting death threats for what? Because she made his bail punitive. Bail should not be excessive. It should be punitive. It should be something that's attainable. This guy does not have a prior record. This is his first, whatever you want to call it, his first offense. So for me, it's like, no, the bail shouldn't be $1 million. It was that. And then there was also reports, because even when you go online and you go Google the Carmelo Anthony case, this young man, the New York Post, like all of these white major blogs or, reporting sites, they're referring to him as the killer team. But when it came time for like Derek Chauvin, they didn't call him the killer cop. They were just saying police officer. When it came to Kyle Rittenhouse, they didn't say the killer team. Like, come on. But I want to show one of the clips from the press conference with the mother, the father, and their legal team. So here goes the first one.
You all, the character who is not invited, he knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family, but he did it. And so I say to people, actions speak louder than words. Okay? What he has failed into is the political operatives that want to make this thing a political thing of hate, yet bigotry, and yet racism. We have conservative operatives that have been posting nonstop about this case. You all.
Yeah, so that was a response because Austin Metcalf's father had attended the press conference, which is some of that white intimidation that they try to do. He attended that press conference knowing that was inappropriate. This is not court. That's a press conference for them to speak out on the lies and the narrative that the media have been putting out there, because they tried to also say that this family was using the GoFundMe funds to buy a new house, when that wasn't the case at all. They are putting out this narrative and these lies to discredit this family because, again, self-defense is right when it's their people, but when we do self-defense, it's a crime. Like, no, I stand with Carmelo Anthony in this case, because at the end of the day, when you hear about the story, he was under a tent, and we knew that it was bad weather that day. So he was planning on being under that tent until it stopped raining. Austin Metcalf took it upon himself, with his privileged self, to go and try to tell him that he can't be under the tent. And Karmelo told him, listen, don't touch me. And he warned him, listen, this is what's going to be if you touch me. So Austin Metcalf feeling as though that he has the authority. You're not a police officer. You're not even the damn, what's the person, the hall monitor. You get what I'm saying? So it's like he felt as though that it was his authority to remove him from under the tent. He was being a bully, in my opinion. Once I did my own research, he was being a bully, and the bully got bullied. Again, I don't condone nobody being killed or whatever, but I'm a huge component of self-defense, especially down there in Fresno, Texas. Like, Texas is already a deep red state. So yes, I'm one of those people that I was taught, don't leave the house without having something on you to defend yourself. You know, I don't think that Carmelo Anthony went with the intentions of killing nobody or, you know, threatening nobody with a knife. However, this guy came up to him and tried to intimidate him, and that's what had wound up happening. I seen a lot of those media publications or white people have more empathy and support for Derek Chauvin when they sit there and try to justify. When the video circulated of him putting his knee on George Floyd's neck, they came up with every reason to sit there and say that, oh, it wasn't him kneeing on his neck that killed him. It was the drugs in his system or whatever. Like, y'all sat there and came up with that conclusion off of that and defended that case, that cop case, Derek Chauvin. But y'all can't see this being self-defense. No, we're not doing that. I want to play the other part of this press conference where the mother was speaking out.
Anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about. The lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification put my family in danger, as well as everyone in our community, everyone involved in the investigation, from the police, the attorneys, and the court staff. Our address and my husband's previous employer's address has been put on all social media platforms. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful. God first in everything that we do. We believe in the Constitution. We believe in the laws of this state, but those laws must apply to all of us, not just some of us. To be clear, we will not speak publicly about specific details of what happened under the tent on that rainy and awful day. There's an active investigation that everyone involved wants to be full and fair. We believe in legal process, and that is where the truth will come out. To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you. To those who have supported my family, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We ask for your continued support, patience, and prayers as we navigate this difficult process. Thank you.
So beautifully said. That was so beautifully said. And before I show some of the comments, the way that some of these mainstream media outlets was painting this press conference, they were trying to say that they put on a disgusting press conference. And that's why we need more Black media outlets to speak out and give the other side, because a lot of the Fox News and the New York Post and all that, they are posting from a biased standpoint. So here goes some of the comments from the press conference. It say, not respecting personal space was the problem to begin with. I agree with that. The father came to the press conference, which again, he shouldn't have been there. And this whole thing started because Austin Metcalf did not respect Carmelo Anthony's personal space, and he got dealt with. And again, I'm a big component of self-defense, and I truly believe it was self-defense. I don't care what nobody say. Next, it says, y'all saying y'all would have showed up too. Well, do just that. And I have my lawyer in court saying how even after the fact, the bullying and intimidation is continuing, but now through his father. If you're not there to support, why are you there? This isn't court. This isn't for you. Exactly. The father knew it was inappropriate to be at that press conference where he got escorted out, because if it was vice versa and the roles were switched, then would they be as understanding? Like, come on. And then finally, I have it says, he's clearly not supposed to be at the press conference for legal reasons. Yet everyone wants to be blind to the fact and act like it's normal. Yes, there were a lot of people in the comments saying that they would show up too if they killed their son. But listen, that's what court is for. The press conference is not for that at all. You know, so I'm pretty sure there's going to be more developing stories about this particular case that's going to continue to come out, you know, because Karmelo Anthony is currently fighting charges in connection with the stabbing. The case has garnered national attention, raising deeper conversations about youth violence, racial bias, and media sensationalism in Texas. As the family prepares for the legal battle ahead, Hayes says she's staying focused on protecting her son, as she should. She should protect her son, continue to donate to his GoFundMe, because listen, when I get paid, I'm definitely going to donate to his GoFundMe account, and I'm going to continue to follow this case because I truly do believe that this young man is innocent. And if he does get convicted, he doesn't need life in prison. This was his first offense. Like, come on, like Kyle Rittenhouse is still out here, and then he got the nerve to speak out and say that if the right didn't think what he did was self-defense, then why do they think this? What's his name? Kyle Rittenhouse. You went out of your way with a gun and traveled to a whole different city to go do what you did. You went looking for trouble. Trouble came knocking at Karmelo Anthony's door, and he had to do something in the spur of a moment to defend himself so that he still went home alive. So these are not the same. And the same argument Kyle Rittenhouse made, okay, well, if that's the case, then why can't the right see that this was self-defense? Like, they justified Kyle Rittenhouse having self-defense. We all know it's all political, and they're trying to make something bigger than what it was. And like one of the comments said, y'all not mad about the Florida State University person who was a full Trumper who went to kill people. Have that same outrage, especially you, Aiden Ross. All right, well, that's all I got for this case today. So again, this has been Jameer with the journalism. All right, and before I get out of here, I want to encourage y'all to follow my social media page at Jameer with 3 underscores. That's my personal page. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Ask the Culture Turns. And again, make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel to stay tuned for more content just like this. And as I always say, this has been Jameer with the journalism, and you know I do my research.